Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? So, I want to talk about a situation that I was actually going to speak about quite some time ago and I never got around to it, about 3 weeks ago. And it's regarding this YouTube channel called Black Girl Gamers, or Black Gamer Girls, I always forget the name, Black Girl Gamers. And they had Kim Belair on their YouTube channel about 3 weeks ago, and they were talking about Sweet Baby Inc. and they were just talking about the gaming industry in general. And I watched the video, really disliked how disingenuous it was, and I recorded a video picking it apart. I went by point, I made a video, and I just didn't end up putting it up. I didn't get to edit what I wanted into it in time. In that time, other YouTubers saw it. At the time of me seeing it, it had 160 views. Now, I have been aware of Black Girl Gamers, Black Gamer Girls. I keep forgetting, what is it? Black Girl Gamers, we'll keep it there. I have been aware of them for a long time because there's a girl in Black Girl Gamers called Jayan Lopez, and we actually have mutual friends. She doesn't know me, and I don't really know her, but we know the same people. So I've been aware of their page, and I've kept up to date with it. And I really don't like a lot of the things that they say. I don't know if they are bad people in real life. They probably aren't, but they say a lot of things that I disagree with, and so that was the purpose of the video, was to pick it apart. Now, in that time, a YouTuber called Smash JT found this video as well, and he reacted to it, gave his thoughts on it, and in that time, he has been copyright striked by Black Girl Gamers, by the Black Girl Gamers YouTube page. Now, I don't know who in Black Girl Gamers put the copyright claim forward, or the copyright strike. I don't know if it was a collective and the entire team decided it, or I don't know if it was Jayan because she's the CEO. Whoever it was, it really doesn't matter, because what Smash JT did fell under fair use. Now, there's one thing that all YouTubers understand, and there's a lot of us that don't get on. I have my enemies. You guys watching that are YouTubers might have your enemies. We all have people we don't like, but one thing we don't do, and this is universal amongst all YouTubers, is we don't abuse the fair use system. We already know that YouTube has got a very shaky and weird copyright strike system. It causes creators a lot of trouble. We just saw Tyler Olivero, a massive YouTuber with like 7 million subscribers, use a 4-second clip, and some scumbag copyrighted his video. And so his channel is probably going to be destroyed because of it. Because we all know you don't do those things. You might not like what somebody's saying about you. You might not like the things that they're saying, but unless they have doxed you, unless they've done something really terrible like that, you can't copyright strike somebody under fair use. It's completely against what YouTubers do. They did it anyway, and I think they did it because Smash JT probably pulled their points apart. I only saw a bit of his video, but it was kind of going down the road that I expected it to, because a lot of the things they say in this video are kind of ridiculous. Now, I can't play the video because I'm wondering, if I do, will I get a copyright strike? They can't copyright strike me for talking about it. So I'm going to go over it point by point, because YouTube's not helpful in these situations. And oftentimes when these things happen, even though I think it's going to backfire on Black Girl Gamers, in the meantime, Smash JT has got to deal with a lot of shit. So I think it's unfair what they did to him. I don't care if you agree with the man or not. That's really not the point of the video. The point is that we as YouTubers might not agree on things, but you should not be sending out copyright strikes. So that really tells me that these people live in a bubble. Anyway, onto this video that they created. I find it funny that they start off the video, Jayan starts off the video by saying she wants to have a real and authentic conversation. A real and authentic conversation with two people that you just agree with. Don't you think in a situation like this you should find somebody who you don't think is going to necessarily attack you, but is going to challenge you on your ideas? Now, I've said multiple times that I enjoy talking to people that don't necessarily agree with me. I would love to sit down and talk to one of these three, Kim Belair, Ashley Parrish, or Jayan Lopez, about their ideas and their experiences, because there's a lot of things that they say in this video that they don't actually reference, that I would like to pull them up on. Instead, they sit in a bubble and they sit there and they talk, and I guess if anybody says anything they don't like, they'll copyright strike them. The other thing that I find funny is that since this video has been picked up by many gamers, it has gone up to about 16,000 views. And that happened very, very quickly. Remember, I saw it when it had 160 views, and it really didn't move because this is a very small, almost inactive YouTube channel in terms of like moving viewers. No one really watches it. This video in particular is probably one of their most viewed videos. And in all of that, there's one comment on the video. And the comment is from Legacy NT Media. I don't know who they are, but all it says is "Let's Go BGG." I'm assuming they are affiliated with Black Girl Gamers. There's no other comments though. You would think a video that was picked up by loads of YouTubers and loads of gamers would have more comments on it, which tells me they're censoring the comments as well, which again tells you that they live in a bubble. Jayan says in the video that she was targeted by Gamergate and she was sent death threats and harassment to her emails, to her inboxes, wherever you could contact her, she was sent harassment, which I find weird since a lot of these people protect their Twitters, they protect the places that you're supposed to be able to reach out to them to. And I also find it weird that these kinds of people will say over and over and over again that they have been sent death threats, that they have been harassed, and yet we will never see them. And what baffles me is, why would you protect people that you don't like that are sending you threats? Why would you not make it known? I mean, I might not agree with these girls, and I don't. I almost agree with nothing that they've said. Not because of their skin color, but because I think they have bad ideas. I would not protect people that are sending me threats. Let it be clear, if anyone ever sends me a death threat, you're going to get exposed. I have no interest in protecting you, none whatsoever. If you send me one and I feel like it's a legitimate threat, I will bait you out. Now, they are claiming that this is something that's happening in abundance because they say Gamergate, which covers a wide range of gamers in this topic. It doesn't necessarily mean that how they're framing them is fair, but in their eyes, the Gamergate crowd is sending them death threats. So show the receipts. Don't say things like this if you ain't got receipts. And as a matter of fact, you know what? Screenshots are not good enough with people like this because I don't believe them. I would like to see a screen recording live on going into their Twitter account, going into their Instagram, going into wherever there are mediums to reach out to them. Screen record it and show us, or just put it up on the screen and show us so we can see the mountain of death threats you get. And I highly doubt it. I think you're getting criticism. I think maybe you're getting people saying mean things to you. I can imagine that. But death threats, I highly doubt that. Have you probably received some? Sure, there's crazy people on the internet. How many you've received? I don't know. I don't believe that there's a mountain of them like you guys make out. There's a part in this video where Ashley Parrish goes on to say that she works for The Verge. It's also referenced in the video that she's a staff writer, and that people should use legacy media as a reliable source. You should always look out for legacy media because they speak truth to power. But Ashley Parrish, as well as other members of legacy media, have continuously lied about the Wukong situation. I featured a clip from a YouTuber, a Chinese YouTuber called Fei Fi on here. Now, if you haven't subscribed to Fei Fi's channel, I don't know Fei Fi personally, but I like her content. Go out and subscribe to her. I think she's doing good work. But she translated what was being said by the game science developers, the people that made Wukong. And herself, as well as other Chinese people that were able to translate the language, have said that IGN and Ashley Parrish and people like them are not translating it correctly, because sometimes when you translate a language into English, it doesn't translate properly. It doesn't move over properly. And yet they continue to peddle the lie, and she continues to peddle it. I went looking through Ashley Parrish's work and she peddles the lie. She continues to do it. There's been no sort of addressing that she got it wrong, just continues to say it. So I don't know how you can say that you are trustworthy, that you are a reliable source, when the person that is saying it that is in China, when it was translated over to English, they did not translate it properly, which often happens with languages, right? That's just something that happens. Some languages are very contextual. And even though you know that, and I know that you know that, you decided to peddle the lie further. And I've read your articles on The Verge. People can go over there and read them. They are just a bunch of cowabunga as far as I'm concerned.
That article accused of saying we don't need female players was written in this context. The developers weren't saying they didn't need female players, but that they didn't need to do things to pander to women and then treat them as a resource to attract men who wanted to date. Then came to the Black Myth Wukong period on August 20, 2020. To recruit talent, they released a game demonstration video that shocked the entire China game industry. This small team suddenly gained overwhelming attention, and the creator Feng Jie posted the famous Weibo that IGN criticized as sexist, particularly the first sentence, 想扩圈多招几个被舔到勃起不能 was translated by IGN as I wanted to expand my circle and hire more people, get licked until I can't get an erection. My English isn't very good, so I don't know how native English speakers perceive this. But in Chinese, what he actually meant was, I just wanted to recruit a few people, but received more prize than expected, which made me feel uneasy. However, I wanted to clarify that just because I understand what he was trying to say doesn't mean I approve of his way of saying it. Again, you can call him rude and crude, but there's no need to label him as sexist.
They also say over and over again that Gamergate is targeting marginalized individuals, which is a load of bullshit. It is not about your skin color, because a lot of the time, if you look over at the Concord developers, I can see that a lot of them are white, and yet people sent them over their criticism. They said, hey, your game sucks. It's not because they're black, it's not because they're gay, it's not because they're trans. People don't necessarily care about how you present and who you take to bed. They care about what's going on up here. Now, that's true for me as well. You guys probably, after watching this video, or if you've ever seen any of my other videos, I'm willing to bet you probably don't like me, but you don't dislike me because of how I look. You don't dislike me because I'm half black. You would dislike me because of my ideas. You probably don't like the things that I'm saying. Now, in the original Gamergate, people like Anita Sarkeesian, like Neil Druckmann, like Troy Baker, the voice actor, all of those people were subject to criticism because of the things that were going on at the time and things that happened afterwards. They're not black people. They're not marginalized people. It's not about your skin color. Stop bringing up skin color all the time. People are not that stupid. Yes, trolls will say stuff online. Of course they will. But if that's what you're focusing on, you're kind of silly. There are a lot of people that would like to have a conversation with you. People that look like you. People that I know that know you guys. But they won't say anything to you because they know that you're not going to be willing to have an open and honest conversation. You know that if someone actually challenges your beliefs, actually asks you for a receipt, tries to have an honest conversation with you, you won't do it. You want to focus on extremists. You want to focus on people that only want to troll you and are only there to enjoy the chaos. You don't want to talk to the legitimate gamers and the people in the industry and the people that support the industry of their wallet, that have genuine concerns about the things that you're proposing and the things that you're doing and the things you're saying. You want to focus on the extremists to get your point across, and that is disingenuous. Growing up in the 90s, I realized that like with anime and wrestling and gamers, there was a lot of crossover. And whenever I'd watch wrestling, we loved some of the black wrestlers there. They were great. It never felt like they were put there because they were black. It felt like they were put there because they deserved it and they earned it and their characters were great. People like The Rock, people like Mark Henry, people like D'Lo Brown, people like Farouk. You know, there were these great wrestlers, you know, people that came even before that, people that have come after that, people of color, whoever that might be. The biggest attraction in the wrestling business right now is Roman Reigns and the Samoan dynasty. And they're people of color, you know. So I don't know this entire premise of, oh, because they're black, and then if it's not black, they'll move it over to women, even though we love watching women in wrestling, for example. And I'm using wrestling as an example because it's another entertainment medium with a very loud and vocal community. You might even say that the internet wrestling community is even louder than the gaming community. Maybe they might not be as big, but they are loud and they're very opinionated. And yet Montez Ford, Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, even though she does annoy people, all of these wrestlers, these black wrestlers, people love them. But when you try to force something on people, when you gender bend things, when you race swap things, that's when people have a problem. They don't have a problem with seeing people of color. Nobody had a problem with Wesley Snipes being Blade, obviously. Nobody had a problem with Chadwick Boseman and how much praise he got for his portrayal of King T'Challa in the Wakanda films. No one had an issue with those things. No one's going to have an issue with black representation. It just can't be done in a way where it feels like you're pushing something out to make room for something else, because then people complain. People would complain if you did that to women. If there were a lot of black characters that we've been following for a long time, like for example, if they retold the Walking Dead video game, the original one with Lee and Clementine, and they removed them for white people, I would say, why did you do that? Just put back who was there in the beginning. People just don't like things that have already been established being tampered with. Doesn't mean you can't make new things. That doesn't mean the new things are going to do well either. And listen, there's a lot of black gamers, so you know, if they wanted to support something, they would. They just would. But the problem is that a lot of the things that you guys are pushing, unless it's in a massive franchise like Spider-Man, where you can get away with it because it's Spider-Man, people are not buying it up. They don't like it. because it feels like you're pandering to them. And people don't like being pandered to. Kimberlé in this video says that it doesn't necessarily affect them that people are making a lot of noise online. And she's talking about her income and her job opportunities. And she says that these companies are going to do what they're going to do anyway. And I say to them, I don't think so. I think maybe you'll probably get away with it sometimes. But I think over time, when people come to learn because they have to disclose who worked on the game, there will literally be a movement so big that anytime people see Sweet Baby Inc., they won't buy it. Now, if it is the case that people are going to continue buying the games for the time being, I say that we need to keep talking about it, because I think that my biggest problem with Sweet Baby Inc. is, I don't like the things that they put in the games. I don't like the way they try to influence things. I never liked the way Anita Sarkeesian tried to influence things. I think my biggest issue with them is that there's not a route to have a conversation. Now, obviously, there is a route to have a conversation with her, because we've seen Jayan, who is in the UK like me, who knows people that I know. I don't think she'd be that difficult for me to actually meet up with, because I've been in the same sort of places as her. She was able to get in contact with Kimberlé. Now, I would say that I would love to have a conversation with Kimberlé, not to attack her, not to put her down, not to obviously not be racist, I'm half black, but to have a conversation, be like, hey, listen, we've got legitimate concerns with what you're doing. I need to know A from B and X from Y. Like, you need to tell me what is going on here, and we need to see receipts. And there should be a healthy back and forth, It doesn't need to be screaming, it doesn't need to be shouting. It doesn't need to be made about race all the time, because again, it's really not about race, it's about ideas. You can get any kind of person from any walk of life, and those two people will resonate with each other if they have similar ideas. It doesn't matter what they look like. It's when you have opposing ideas. You could both be black. That goes out the window, because you don't think the same, or you don't have a route to be able to communicate with each other in a way where you can understand each other. So stop making it about race. That is extremely low-hanging fruit. Ashley Parrish at one point in this video says that most gamers don't have any idea what's going on online, and that nobody really gives a shit about the people making noise online, which, is obviously not true. We've seen the results of people making noise online. Concord is a prime example of a game that people basically made a lot of noise about, saying, hey, this is dog shit, we don't like it, and nobody bought it. Nobody wanted it. Dustborn's another good example of that. Star Wars, we haven't seen the sales figures for Outlaw yet, I don't think, but can't imagine it's going to do very well. Assassin's Creed Shadows, I can't imagine it's going to do very well. So I think she's talking shit. I think she's trying to deflect. I think people making noise online does actually go a long way, because gamers spend a lot of time online. This is not like another medium where you can have a lot of conversation about it, but there's a lot of people that don't really come online. They don't know what's really going on. They're not tuned in. Gamers are tuned in. Gamers are online. Gamers are on YouTube. They're on Twitch. Your everyday gamer is online. So what she's saying is not true. And she mentioned, oh, your average gamer is a 13-year-old on Roblox. Those 13-year-olds are online, and they're paying attention to the discourse. I know this. I've got young family members. I've got friends who have young family members. They're aware of what is going on. So that is not true. That's a deflection tactic to make it seem like what people are saying. Videos like this, videos like Smash JT's, is not reaching a large audience. It is. People are aware of what is going on, and people are going to vote with their wallets. Now, I would say to someone like Ashley Parrish, again, I don't know her, I don't know where she's from, I'd have no idea if I have mutuals with Ashley Parrish, but that kind of smug behavior, I would tell people, listen, don't go and read The Verge, don't read any of her articles. If she wants to behave like that, then again, the best thing you can really do is to almost ignore them, to the point that they don't get any clicks and they just disappear, because they can only function by getting attention. Now, I don't want to make this video too much longer, because to be honest with you, a lot of points made in this video are dribble, and they come across as race hustlers to me. I don't know if they're bad people, because people, when they exist in bubbles, this is what happened. They start talking out of their ass. I don't think they've actually had people on their YouTube channel to challenge them. I went through their videos to look for debates. I couldn't find any. A lot of them, again, a lot of these types of people protect their Twitter accounts. I've gone onto some of their Twitter accounts. They're completely protected. You can't get in contact with them. Black Gamer Girls one is open, but Jayan's is protected. Ashley Parrish's one is open. Kimberlé's, at the time of me checking, was protected. I can't take people seriously when they protect their Twitter accounts. But that being said, I would genuinely like to have a conversation with one of them, because they're very dismissive. They pretend like these things are not being watched by the masses, They pretend like this is a far right thing. It's not a far right thing. It's a common sense thing. Anita Sarkeesian tried to say the same thing. I'm not far right. I'm very far from that. It's just a common sense thing. There's things that we are noticing in our games. There's things that we see in Western games that we don't like, and people are speaking up about it. Now they can be as dismissive as they want, but at the end of the day, like we say all the time, guys, your wallet is what is really going to get people's attentions. And these companies are not going to hire Sweet Baby Inc. They're not going to hire an Ashley Parrish. People are not going to pay attention to a YouTube channel that censors all conversation if you are voting with your wallet and if you're not going over there and subscribing to them. Now, the channel views are extremely low anyway, so people are not paying attention to this, black or white, gay or straight, transgender or not. People are just not watching the content. There's a reason for that. If you guys want to have genuine conversation and not focus on extremists to make your argument, my routes of communication are open. I'd love to have a conversation with one of you guys just to understand your mindset. But if you're going to continue talking in this bubble, if you're going to continue deleting comments, and if you're going to copyright strike fellow YouTubers for saying things you don't like, I can guarantee this is going to bite you on your ass. Shutting down methods of communication when this is a topic worth speaking about is going to do you no favors. Now, it sucks what they've done to Smash JT. I'm kind of glad I didn't put my video up because my channel is much smaller than his, even though it's bigger than theirs. And it's harder to get YouTube's attention the smaller you are. And they're already disrespecting Smash JT and telling him to go the legal route or whatever. The copyright system with YouTube is absolutely shambolic. It's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen. And this is evidenced. People like Black Girl Gamers are able to abuse it. Now, I don't know where this is all going to go. I believe they're going to continue to peddle lies like they did with the whole Wukong thing. We'll see. But like I said, my methods of communication are open. If they ever see this video, I'm not going to go on there and hate on them. I'll be honest with them. Sometimes, you know, it comes across as harsh, but I'm not going to insult them. Like I said, in their day-to-day, because I know people that they know, and I know those people are good people, even though some of them have ideas I don't agree with. I'm not going to attack them. There's no point in doing that. I want to talk about the ideas. I want to talk about their philosophies, and I also want to know, I want to see receipts for the things they're saying. Otherwise, all these people are like, oh, doxing this, death threat that. This is just people trying to manipulate their audiences to feel sorry for them. Just to close this video off, it is not about skin color. It's not about who you take to bed. It's about ideas. Someone's idea is what will turn you off them. I don't care where these girls are from. They're half black. They're full black. I'm half black. Why would I care about their race? It's nothing to do with your race, ladies. It's nothing to do with your gender. I like being around women. You know, I try to feature girls in my videos. I had girls come over to my live stream. I encouraged them to come over. I want more girls to jump on Tekken. I had Jin Mei in my live stream, which is, I think, the best Devil Jin in the Philippines. I had Star in my live streams, which is the head of the Lily Discord. So it's nothing to do with gender. It's about your stupid ideas. I do think they're stupid. So again, don't make it about race. I'll catch you guys very soon. Take care and peace.